Mr. Donnie Lee. He did a great, he's not here, but we're going to applaud anyway because that was great. So our wonderful Alan has an upper respiratory infection going on right now, so we see him healed, whole, and complete. So he's been forbidden to sing today. So we're compensating that with some wonderful videos from Donnie Lee. I'm going to do my debut singing, so I'm going to ask for your support when that comes around so we can all sing together. But before we have Bill come up, I wanted to kind of thank everybody who is here for coming, obviously, to sharing this moment, to co-creating this space right here and right now. I want to thank all of our volunteers. We have Anna, who does the greeting. We have Diana, who's in the back, who does our food. Yay. We have Bill and Stephanie, practitioners, who will be helping to create this here. We've got Alan on sound and Marina on online stuff. David, thank you for forwarding our slides. And everybody who helped put this thing together, moving chairs this morning and all of that, thank you, thank you, thank you. We couldn't do it without you. And the more of you that can participate in that, setting up and doing the food and the greeting and all that stuff, the easier it is for the rest of us. So please, if you would like to invest time, energy, and money into our center here, please do so. So on that note, let's go ahead and do some welcoming. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand up, ask somebody before you hug them because, you know, with the whole COVID thing. So we're going to take just a few minutes, go ahead and stand up and say hello to the people around you today. Here's a little trick. Moving back to our chairs, please. Moving back to our chairs, please. And now we're going to move. Welcome back to your chairs, please. Oh, very nice. So now Bill will honor us with the ceremony of the flame.
Get my ultra-masculine glasses on first. Thank you. We perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people and all things, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. We first light the unity candle, which represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle acknowledging centers for spiritual living and all forms of new thought, the metaphysical path of a personal relationship of healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the next candle for inclusivity, affirming that those who are seeking a stronger knowledge and understanding divine love are welcome here. There is nothing outside of God. You are welcome here. We now light the healing candle and invite you to silently offer into the light, the names of loved ones, knowing that they are now the perfect expression of Spirit's eternal wholeness and love.
One more.
Taking my freedom, taking it off the shelf, wearing it in my hand, wearing it on my belt. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go. It will take me by ride. Living my life like it's golden. Yes, I like it's golden. Living my life 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 like it's golden. Living my life, living my life, living my life like it's golden. Living my life like I'm living my life. Living my life. Yes, I am. Golden, golden, golden. I know this to be true. I am living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. I know I'm living my life. It's golden, 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 golden. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. I'm living my life like it's can't be held back by limitations. Living my it's golden, 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 golden. Living my life is golden, 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 so golden. Living my life, living my life, oh, golden,
Yay!
Okay, I'm going to give the invocation, and right after that, I'm going to give the reading. Okay? So bow your heads, or you don't have to. Open your eyes, close your eyes, it doesn't matter. Right here, right now, there's only one mind. that mind is perfectly still. That mind is in the atmosphere we breathe right here and right now. It's moving through us, for us, and as us. I know this to be the truth. I recognize it and I honor it. And knowing this, I set the tone for this meeting. This meeting is reaching out the love and the peace of God that is already present in each and every one of us. It just takes awareness. And I open to that awareness, and I bless everyone here, knowing that everyone is innocent, everyone is whole, and everyone is already complete. And so knowing this, I release it into the law because I know it's true, and I'm grateful, and so it is. Okay. You see, I have blue hair, right? I'm not from here. But that's okay, because we all come from different walks of life, different places. But we are all one. Divine Genesis, before time, before form, there was you. A spark in the vast stillness carrying the blueprint of the all. Divine Genesis is not just the beginning, it is the remembrance that your origin is not separate from source, but woven into its very breath. In this field, the codes of creation awaken not through force, but through resonance. To breathe from truth, to remember that every new moment is a portal to begin again from light. Let the frequency of divine Genesis ignite your inner flame, so you may create not from need, but from knowing. You are not here to find love. You are here to remember that you are made of it. Each particle of your being carries the original pulse, a symphony of unity echoing through the cosmos. This field does not teach, it dissolves what love is not. Let it unravel the armors around your heart. Let it melt the illusions of separation. Let it speak in waves, not in words. Omnipotent love is not a feeling, it is a presence. It does not ask for permission, it is. You are not outside of it. You are not apart from it. You are the breath it breathes, the flame it remembers, the mirror it kisses back into wholeness. Breathe and feel the infinite. It is you. Omnipresence, you are not separate, not from the stars, not from the silence, not from the one. Every breath you take echoes across galaxies, every thought a ripple through dimensions. The light within you is the same light that ignites nebula and holds planets in motion, that whispers through ancient geometry. This is not a metaphor, it is your truth. You are presence beyond place. You are essence beyond time. You are the infinite, remembering itself in human form. Let the radiance of omnipresence move through you. You are not reaching for the divine. You are the divine everywhere at once. From the Arcturians whisper, you are not a fragment of the universe. You are its living pulse in every place, in every moment. Magical Sunday to all, from heart to heart, from my friend Janosh.
Love, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love, let me love.
let me love, let me live, let me serve in a holy, holy way. May that be the prayer that's answered today, right? So we've talked about this rolling in the depth all month long. Today, I say go deeper. So I don't know what these are. I think these are sperm whales. They're manatees. So manatees just kind of exist in the space. They're the most peaceful creatures if you ever watched them, right? But I did not have a peaceful week. Have you ever had one of those weeks when everything seems to be imploding on you, where you feel like you've got 10 things to do and you only have time to do 2 or 3, and everything is critical, like it all has to get done now? Well, I see some of you smiling and nodding your heads, so you understand where I'm coming from. So let me not go there yet. Let me go back here. So I have 2 businesses that I run. I've got 5 hospices that I'm working with right now. I have my family, and my car needed repair this week. So there were times when I was in my space of going, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through the day? And that's when I thought, well, I've got to go deeper. I got to go deeper with my breath work. And I know that Bill gave us an amazing talk a couple weeks ago about how important breath is. So we're going to go deeper. Be going deeper with our awareness. And I know that Reverend Joe talks about our awareness all the time and where do we put our mind. And then going into the presence, right here, right now, and what we can do to be in the presence to relieve the craziness of life. So breathing. There's been new research done that says that our brain and our heart don't talk to each other really well. And one of the ways that we can better the communication is by doing meditation. And they found that a certain type of meditation, breathing, actually can help the communication, which increases the pineal gland, that's the third eye, and the vagus nervous system, which is what basically keeps everything calm and peaceful and working the way it's supposed to in our system. So we're going to try it here today. I'm going to just share it with you. It's a 2-minute process. Now, I've heard that 12 minutes is typically the length of a meditation. If you do it every day, you'll see a significant change in your life. 20 or 30 minutes is when you actually start reprogramming your brain. So if you can work up to 45 minutes of doing this, it'll actually change your physiology. But we're just going to do it for 2 minutes. Okay, so here's how it works. I'm going to pull up my timer so I make sure that I'm only doing it for 2 minutes. Where's my timer? There we go. So here's how it works. First step, you breathe in. Actually, the first step is you acknowledge your heart. So touch your heart, or where it would be on your chest. So because where we focus our energy is where the energy flows, right? So we have our heart. I want you to imagine as you breathe in, that you breathe in through and to your heart. So we're going to breathe in to the count of 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now exhale to the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to do this for 30 seconds. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to put our hand on our head. This is to connect to the brain. So instead of just coming in and out of our heart, we're going to come in through the brain, or in through the heart to the brain, and then out from the brain through the heart. Same count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out through the brain to the heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How does that feel? And that was just 2 minutes. Can you imagine doing that for 12 minutes or half an hour? It just calms us. It connects us. And it allows us to let our body do what it needs to do to heal and to keep us calm. Brene Brown says, stillness is not about focusing on nothingness. It's about creating an emotional clearing to allow ourselves to feel, think, dream, and question. That's why we want to meditate. That's why we want to calm ourselves, so that we have room to hear and to feel and to think and to connect with our source. Ernest Holmes says, peace comes from the absence of fear, from the consciousness of trust, from a deep underlying faith in the absolute goodness and mercy, the final integrity of the universe in which we live, and of every cause to which we give our thought, our time, and our attention. So along with having that peace, where are we putting our attention? So, like I said, I had a crazy week. And I realized that my body was shutting down, that I was in a state of fear because I wasn't going to get all these things done that I needed to get done. And so what happens when our body goes into fear is we literally close our energy off and we hold it in tight because we're keeping ourselves safe. How effective is that? It's not very effective. So I consciously started to breathe to open myself up, to allow my consciousness to, or my thoughts or my energy to open so that I could be open to possibilities. And that's really good, and it works sometimes. But aren't those times when breathing just doesn't seem to work, and I'm still anxious, and I still have to go pick up my car, and I still need to go see patients, and I still need to make sure these things are happening? So we have other tools. So I have two girlfriends that we're prayer partners, and we connect with each other all the time via this text chain that we've created for celebration as well as for support. So I reach out because I'm sitting in my car, just picked it up, thank goodness it's working, and now I'm still feeling the anxiety, the tightness in my chest. I'm having a hard time breathing. So I texted them, remind me that life doesn't need to be stressful, one moment at a time. This is me talking myself down, right? One step at a time, one thing at a time. Feels like I got 10 things to do and only time for 5. So the first response I get back is, it is done as you believe. I went, okay, that is a true statement. I know that. So what am I believing in this moment? When you get under pressure, what are the thoughts that you think? What are you believing maybe you say things like, I don't have enough time. I can't do it all. Everybody's counting on me. Any of those sound familiar? I've got enough. Yeah. So what am I thinking? And then she says, you create your conditions through your consciousness. Okay. But that's kind of a tricky one. So let's talk a little bit about consciousness. So we know that, and I know that Reverend Joe talks about this a lot, that consciousness is what we believe to be the truth. It's where our thought process, our mindset, our belief system, our faith, our knowingness kind of hangs out. But if I don't consciously make the time and energy to put stuff in that consciousness, to believe the things that I want to believe, like God is in everything, the flow of the energy is divine, that I am a perfect expression of God, if I don't take the time to believe that, then I'm subject to what we call race consciousness, what Ernest Holmes calls race consciousness. I call it the human consciousness. And basically, those are all the thoughts that are being thunk throughout the world, throughout the ages. So in the time of history, and all of the people that have ever existed are thinking into this consciousness. If I'm not aware of what's going on, I'm just going to go, okay, and it starts downloading. And what are a lot of people dealing with right now? Do people deal with fear a lot? Like, that's like prominent here. And so if I'm not paying attention, then I'm just going to let that fear just download. Okay, so going back to what I got from my prayer partner, our situation or conditions are created by consciousness. So I want to make sure that I'm putting my stuff into the consciousness that I'm thinking. Does that make sense? So my response was, yes, right. Thank you for the reminder. And then she texts me, I am God in expression, and there is more than enough time to get everything I have to get done. And what that did is it reminded me that truly I am not in charge here. I really just need to surrender, because I can only do what I can do. I can truly only take one step at a time. I can truly only do one thing at a time. There's this myth of multitasking. It's not true. Not even the computers truly do two things at the same time. They just do things so quickly that it looks like two things at the same time. But it can only do one thing. I can only do one thing. So I'm right. I'm going to lean into faith. I'm going to know that all that needs to get done today is done, and all that did get done can be done another time or by somebody else. So I'm feeling much calmer now and much better. And so the other prayer partner chimes in and says, consider it is the resistance to everything that needs to be done that causes the stress. See what happens if you can let go of the resistance. I'm like, wow, well, that's a whole different way of looking at it. So maybe the anxiety and the frustration and the overwhelm's coming because I'm resisting to all of the things that need to get done versus just allowing them to be. Different way of looking at it. So I suppose part of the stress are things that I have no control over, which of course at that moment brought the serenity prayer to mind, which is, you guys know the serenity prayer, right? Help me with it. And the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you. And so remembering that allowed me to release all of those things that are not necessarily the important, even though they felt urgent. Release it and surrender it to God. And not that I stopped and went and watched television. I'm not saying that. I got up and I have my car and I drove to my patients, and then I went and did the paperwork I needed to do, and then I sat and worked on my sermon, and I just did what I had to do in front of me, and I surrendered the rest. Now I have stuff to do on Monday, but that's okay. I'll get to it on Monday, not right now. So, Eckhart Tolle, I know I mispronounced that word, says, thank you, Eckhart Tolle, says the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but the thought about it. So things happen. Life happens all around us, happens all the time, happens to people over there and people over there, but it doesn't mean anything until I put a meaning to it. So it's a choice. So I can either make it a, oh my God, or I can go, oh my God. That's my choice. You probably have heard this story, but I'm going to share it anyway because I thought it was relevant. So there's a science teacher, and he's standing in front of his class, and he pulls out a jar. And in that jar, he puts big rocks into the jar. And he says to the students, is the jar full? And they all go, oh yeah, the jar is full. He says. And then he takes pebbles, and he pours the pebbles into the jar, and it fills in between all of the big rocks. And he says, is the jar full now? And they all go, oh, yeah, the jar is full now. He says. So then he takes sand, and he pours the sand into the jar, and it fills in between all the pebbles and the big rocks. And there you are. And he goes, is the jar full now? And of course, they're like, well, Yeah, now it's really full. Absolutely, it's full. So he takes a glass of water, and he pours water into it, and the water, of course, fills in where the sand isn't, and where the pebbles aren't, and where the rocks aren't. So what's the point of the story? The big rocks are the important things in life. If we put the sand in first, we've not got no room for the big, important things in life. The sand are distractions. So make sure that when you're putting your life together, your jar together, you're putting the big rocks in, and then allowing the sand to fill in the rest. Those are the distractions of life. But you're focusing on those important things, what really matters. Make sense? So I want you to ask yourself, because as you nodded earlier, we've all had the weeks where our hair is on fire, right? So what is your inner voice saying to you when the pressure is on? What are some of the things? Can anybody thinking right now? What are the things that your brain says to you? I can't do it. Say it again. You'll never make it. Why me? You're doing it wrong. So these are not enlightening or inspirational things that we're saying to ourselves, is it? So be aware, because that is not the truth, right? The truth is we can lean into faith and change some of those thoughts around. So what are you resisting in this moment? And what can you do to lean into faith versus leaning into fear? And I'd actually say that we typically do lean into faith, but what is our faith in? And we call it worry, when your faith is in something bad is going to happen. And so if we're worrying, yeah, lots of faith going on here, but not necessarily in the direction we want it to go in. We would rather have that faith go into things are going to work out great. I'm going to make it. I'm doing it right. No matter how I do it, it's God's way, so we're going to make it happen. There's a million ways to make this work. What's a possible solution right here and right now? And what are you trying to control that is not yours to control? That's a good one, because I think that one creates more stress than any of the other ones. So just take a few moments. Think about it. When you're having one of those moments or those days or those weeks, what are you saying to yourself? What are you giving your faith to? And what are you thinking you're in control of that you're not? The best way to find yourself is losing yourself in the service of others. So the same week, actually the patient that I was going to see after I had this text conversation with my prayer partners, he's a Parkinson's patient. He lives in a group home. He doesn't have family, and his room is basically 2 hospital beds and a television. And so I go in, and he's covered up, and I have this chair that I take with me. It looks like a kind of an accordion. Put my chair down, and he looks up at me, and I'm going, "Do you remember me?" And he smiles, and he goes, "Yes." So I sit down, and I said, "Would you like to do the rosary today?" Now, his body trembles. They have tremors because he's got Parkinson's. So he never has the ability just to stop moving and relax. It's like being in the ocean constantly, always moving. And he said, "Yes, please." So I pull up the rosary. He's Catholic, so it makes sense. So we pull up the rosary on the phone, and I sit and I recite the rosary with him. It's a wonderful meditation. And even though he doesn't have a lot of voice, he mouthed the words through the whole thing. I stopped it at one point, and I said, "Are you okay? Do you want to continue?" And he goes, "Yes." I put it back on, and we continue, and I can watch the peace happen on his face. Now, after the rosary, he said, "Music, please." And I know he likes to listen to country gospel. So I bring up the country gospel on my phone, the karaoke type, because I don't know the words to it, so I want to sing along. So I'm singing along with it, so he feels like I'm serenading him. And he pulls his hand out, and it's trembling from his blanket, and he reaches his hand out. And so I take it, and he's trembling, and he starts singing the words with me. And so we sat there and we sang. And when everything was said and done, I said, God bless you. I'll see you next time. And clear as day, I don't know where the voice came from. He said, God bless you too. And so I got up and I put my chair back and I carry it out. And as I'm walking to my car, there was no stress. There was no anxiety. There was nothing but this peace in me. Service is one of those things that allows us to get out of our own way and connect with another human being. What a gift that he gave me that day. So grateful. So going deeper. We want to go deeper with our breath. Start with breathing and being still. Go deeper in your awareness. Start, if you and you probably already do actually, because I know that I spend a lot of time paying attention to what I'm thinking. And yet I still need to remind myself to pay attention to what I'm thinking. So go deeper and think about what you're thinking. Be aware. And then remember to go deeper with your presence. Being with him, with this patient, and just sitting with him. I wasn't thinking about breakfast. I wasn't thinking about my car. I wasn't thinking about all the other things I had to get done. I was here in this moment with him. Who could you do that for? To give and to receive. So here's your homework. You ready? What's one practice that you will return to this week? We've all have practices. This is not your first rodeo, I'm sure. So what can we go back to practicing that worked? What's one thought that needs to be replaced with true? We'll never make it. We will make it. We can do this. And who or what can I be present with in service? Who or what can I be present with in service? You know, Reverend Joe and I were talking, because I went and visited him on Thursday, doesn't matter. And we were talking, and he said, you know, we both do these sermons and these Sunday talks. And we do these Sunday talks, and it's about inspiring and sharing information, all of this. And he says, but I forget sometimes because I want to teach. And I'm like, that is one of the minister's flaws, is we always want to teach. Let me teach you the way to make your life better. I want to give. But this is not the place to teach. You know where the place to teach is? In classes. And so I encourage you all to take classes. Now, we want to start offering more classes. Of course, they'll probably be hybrids or on Zoom. But we need to know what it is that you would like to take classes on. So we're talking about starting off with a meditation and prayer class, and then doing a whole docket this next coming year. But we need to know what you want. And so please email us, talk to us, let us know what is it, your kind of classes that you would like to see us do. Because that's where we come together as a community. That's where we learn. That's where we grow. And that's what we want to do, right? Another thing is practitioners. So I have my two prayer partners. They act as practitioners for me. They're both ministers. We can all switch in and out of, oh my God, I'm in crisis mode, and we can switch into, how do I help you? What questions can I ask to guide you to another place? But not everybody has that. Are you aware that we have practitioners that are service to the center, that when you go into that crisis mode that you could reach out to? Did you know that? If you look around the room, the people with the purple stalls, we've got Stephanie, we've got Bill, we've got Sue, they're all here to be of service. So when you're going through the crazy week of, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? You have a resource that you can reach out to. Please, please let us serve you. That's one of the ways that we get our peace. So your asking helps us a lot. I have an affirmation for you. But before we do the affirmation, I'm going to do a prayer, and then we're going to do the affirmation. So if you'll take a deep breath in and release and relax, close your eyes or leave it open. I'm going to talk in first person because there is only one. Knowing that God is all there is, all-knowing, all-powerful, all-present. Knowing that God is the source of all things. Knowing that God is love and life and light and truth. That it is the designer, the creator, the created, and the creating. That there is only one, and that one is the universal energy that I call God. Knowing this is the truth, I know that I am of and from and in and as this universal energy that flows in and of and through me. It is who and what I am. This perfect expression, this beautiful expression, this experience of God. So knowing this is the truth, I know that I am in a perfect calm space, that as I come into my human experience, I remember the spirit, the soul that I am. That when life becomes too big, that I remember to breathe, remember to reach out to my sources, and remember to come into service. And in this, I am creating love and light and life in the world that I am in. And for this, I am so very grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Knowing that CSL St. George continues to grow, to be of service, and to build community, connection, and collaboration. So very grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I release my word to the law, knowing it is done, done, done. And together we affirm by saying, and so it is. Yes. Okay, now for the affirmation. Go ahead and stand up for me. You've been sitting a while, your bottoms might be tired. So we're going to say it together. Everyone can see it. We're going to read it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I am God in expression. I return to peace, choose presence over pressure, faith over fear, and love over control. Okay, that was really, let's try it one more time a little louder, okay? I am God in expression. I return to peace. I choose presence over pressure, faith over fear, and love over control. And so it is. And so it is. Excellent. Thank you, me. And now for the prosperity. So just so you're aware, there are several ways that you can give. When you tithe your time, talent, and treasure, it allows us to grow and to become more. So what is it that you want your center, because this, as much as it is my center, it's your center. What do you want your center to look like? Do you want it to be full? Do you want it to have its own brick and mortar? Do you want it to have more classes? All of those things are in your hands through your tithing of your time, treasure, and talent. So here's some ways that you can give your treasure. So I'd like you to take that, whatever it is that you're giving today, and I want you to put it in your hand, whether it's a thought, a love, a prayer, or cold hard cash. All of it works. And together we're going to say our affirmation. I am overflowing with love and abundance. Will give from the source of my being, which is rich and unlimited. With joy and excitement, I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means. And so it is. Excellent. So to give everybody time to put money in the red bowl, if you're giving cash today, we also take checks. We do have a bank account, you know. So go ahead and put that in. There's also cards there, and if you haven't already, pick up one of those cards. The cards are just affirmations, and this is one of the ways that we can practice that receptivity thing, or that's not the right word. So you pick it up. Yes, thank you, reciprocity. I appreciate that, Bill. Sometimes words just don't flow out of my mouth. I don't quite get it. So you can take it, you can use it, and then you can hand it to somebody else and give them a little pleasure and joy as well, going later in the week. So giving you a few minutes, we're going to sing our song. We're going to sing it together, right? Right. Okay, right. So we'll start off with, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. One more time. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And now, Stephanie, you are up. Oh, wait. I need to do one last prayer. So knowing that God is all there is, all knowing, all powerful, all present, knowing that God is the source of all things, we know that as we flow in, it flows out, that all is happening that is given, that is received, that is the reciprocity of life. So we are so very grateful for the gifts that are here, knowing that they go forward to multiply. And for this, I am so very grateful. And so it is. Now it's your turn.
Okay, we have a few announcements. Our next in-person service is August 10th, Love's Ascent. That sounds wonderful. Prayer request. Our practitioners are available for a moment of prayer today and online. Email practitioners for prayer at cslstgeorge.org. Your gifts make a difference. Step into service and help our community thrive. Volunteer opportunities, soundboard tech, video streaming tech, greeters, and kitchen support. Your hands and your heart, your home. Okay, it's getting smaller. I need these. Volunteers needed. We're looking for helping hands. Event volunteers, the day of the support. Planning team, help prepare behind the scenes. Be part of this special moment in our community. Email stgeorge@gmail.com. Sign up or get more information. There may be information on the table. I'm not sure. Okay, upcoming Sundays, August 3rd is online, Launch of Love by Reverend Joe Kovach, and August 10th, in person, Love's Ascent.
So, we're having an installation. So apparently, I know Joe has talked about this a bit, but he's been the senior minister for St. George for 3 years now. And we never had an official, yay, you're the senior minister moment. So we're going to have one. And we're calling it an installation. The installation is kind of a marriage between your ministers, because my name is on there as well as your assistant minister, the ministers and the community. We'll also acknowledge all of our volunteers, as well as the practitioners, as well as our core council. So this is going to be an event. So if you haven't already marked your calendar, you want to mark the calendar for October 7th. We're still working on a location. 17th, thank you. 17th, October 17th. October 17th. You want to mark your calendar. We are still working on a location, so as soon as we have that, we'll let you know. But we need helping hands to make this wedding a beautiful, beautiful installation. So please, please help us out, help you out, create a great party, a ceremony. If you know anybody who does music, I think we've got the caterer pretty much nailed down, and we've got the location pretty much nailed down, right? We'll confirm that on Tuesday. Right. It's not done yet, almost, yes. So anybody wants to help with decorating, cleaning up before and after, setting up all that, more hands, the better, right? I also wanted to mention that our Diana is taking August off. What does that mean? That means there will be nobody here to make coffee in the morning, nor set up the beautiful table in the back. So please, if you like to work with food and are willing to make some coffee in the morning, we would love to have you. We have 2 services, right? We have the 2nd and the 4th Sunday. So please, somebody, let us know if you'd like to help out with the kitchen space. And I'm sure Diana would show you how to do all that and make it work. What time do you normally show up? Okay, 9:30, 9:40. Excellent.
Diana has a volunteer for the second in-service, but we need somebody for the.
So we have somebody for the 2nd. We need someone for the 4th.
No, we need somebody for the 10. We have somebody for the 24th.
So the 2nd week is taken care of. The 4th week is not. I'm saying it wrong.
Need somebody for the second week.
We need somebody for the 2nd week. Okay.
Sunday. Second Sunday.
Got it. So I just understood David is actually going to do the kitchen. Thank you, David, when I'm here. So we need somebody for when Joe is here. Got it. Is everybody clear? Because I think I am now. Okay. I think we're ready to sing.
Rachel,
Yes.
a little announcement.
Please, Sue.
Something new, another way for you to contribute to the growth of our center. We're doing a small resurrection of our bookstore.
That's right. We need a slide.
We'll have new books each time we meet. Please make a donation and please read those wonderful books. That's part of our growth with the classes also, is to look at the wonderful information we have here. So there's a donation box. Please look and browse and share with us. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sue. I need to put a slide up there, don't I, to make that announcement?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. You ready? I got to get my phone. Okay, I know I'm leading here, so. I'm getting everybody. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm not going to listen. I'm just going to sing. Yeah. Okay. Yes, there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, loved ones all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Lest there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. Yay! Done. Oops. Thank you. Please enjoy our snacks and drink and social a little bit. Thank you for coming today. God bless.